Hey, so I'm starting a SaaS company, and I've been working on my development environment recently. So I just wanted to show you around a little bit, show you what I'm working on with Docker and Python and Docker Compose and all that stuff. So here we go. So first of all, I wanted to have a development environment and a production environment. So the way I'm starting out doing that is by having I have this base config in my Docker file. So Docker is something where you can have portable environments for apps. It's basically like a portable operating system that you can move to pretty much anywhere Docker is installed. So basically it does all your configuration stuff for you, before you actually run your app. Basically, I have this set up here with getting my files of my app copied into the Docker operating system, into the image, and setting up stuff for my name and things like that. And I'm starting out with a Python operating system, probably Ubuntu or something. And then copying my files over, setting up some stuff for Flask, because that's the Python framework I'm using. And then install my requirements with pip. And so if you know anything about Python, that will give you everything you need for your app to actually run. So that's what that's for. Then, I have an extra space there, I jump down into a debug target. So basically I just expose port 5000, that's what that means, because Flask automatically works on port 5000, so I'm exposing that to the outside world so I can hit it from my computer. And then I run Flask run with the debug command in there. And that's all I need to do. And because of the way I mounted everything here, mounted my files, it will actually do all the live updates and stuff like that Flask does. So when I make changes to my files, they will automatically, magically appear on my server. So then I have this prod target here, production, where I use apt to update some stuff, install Nginx, install UWSGI. I have an Nginx config that I'm copying over. Anyway, this is all just production server stuff. Basically, not done with this yet right now, to be honest. But here's my run command. So when I go Docker run, it runs these commands right here. So it'll run command, Flask run, and this one will run the start.sh, which is a shell script that I have right here. Sure. Hi, buddy. Hi. Banana. So anyway, when I run Docker run, the Nginx service is supposed to start, and then UWSGI, which is the actual server that's going to run my app, will start. Another key thing is, when I'm running production, what I do, if you look down here, I build an image called the name of my app -prod, and I target this prod target in here. It won't build this part into the Docker image. It only builds this part into the Docker image. Well, and this, of course, because that's the base. So then I have my image, and then when I go Docker run, it'll actually run this start command, and it'll run this image with this configuration and stuff. So that's for production. So I can push that Docker image up and have it run, and it should all just work in my production environment, on my production boxes. But when I am running locally, I don't want to have to log into my production database, things like that, production storage, file storage, stuff like that. So what I'm doing is I'm using Docker Compose, and I have this Docker Compose YAML file where it starts up a Postgres database with just a terrible password here, username, database, there's some config for just Postgres. And this is a Docker image. It just goes and grabs the Postgres Docker image, dropping stuff. And then a database admin app as well. And it puts that on port 8080. And then also this web part is the one that actually will run my Docker file as well. So context here is I just have a dot in there, and by default it just runs whatever Docker file is in this folder. So dot is just the same folder that this file is in. So it just goes out and gets my Docker file, and it runs my Docker file, and it will run the debug. It'll build and run the debug target. And then another thing that I had to do here that I think is pretty important for actually getting Flask to do those live updates when you're in development mode, I mounted my folder as a volume inside of my Docker image as in a folder called app. So then when I'm inside Docker, I can just go /app, and all my files will be available inside. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about that a bit, just document the process of I pretty much learned how to do all of this today. I'm pretty new I'm not super new at Docker, but I have little experience with Docker Compose and very little experience running websites inside of Docker. There we go. That's about it. Thank you for watching. Bye.